at the thing that you put at the beginning.
It started. Yep. Good morning and welcome to another episode of 6TP. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have a beautiful show for you. I am your host, Sir Persevere, Victor Catano, and today your guide master is going to be Rosie Rosaura, and we expect to have our good friends Laurence and Martita later on. And now we're going to kick it off to Rosaura to get us going with her rosiness.
If I offer you one pill with 6 ingredients designed to help you dream bigger, grow stronger, and scale your life, will you take it? Good morning and welcome to the Stillness and Wellness Path. My name is Rosie Rosaura, and we're going to begin this transformation with the Stillness Path, the path that resets you, refocuses you, and brings you back to your center after a day of noise, of movements, and lots of demands. Stillness is where you reset your mind, you reconnect with yourself, and remember what truly matters. Before you chase the day, get still enough to choose the directions. So get yourself in a comfortable position. You could close your eyes if you choose to do so. Otherwise, you could just focus on one point and get ready for this stillness, the time that we just stay and do nothing and just think about our next steps.
5-minute stillness meditation. The power of collaboration, from I have to do it alone to look what we can create together. Close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath in, and gently breathe out. Again, breathe in and release. Allow your shoulders to soften, allow your thoughts to slow down. For these next few minutes, you don't have to solve anything. You don't have to prove anything, and you don't have to do everything alone. Simply become present, become aware of your heart, become aware of the space around you, and enter the stillness. Now silently ask yourself, where in my life am I trying to do alone what could become greater through collaboration? Maybe it's in your family, your relationship, your workplace, your business, your school, your community, your spiritual life. Or maybe it's a dream you've been afraid to share. Sometimes we believe strength means doing everything ourselves. But what if real strength is also knowing when to reach out, when to receive, and when to build with others? Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, release the belief, I have to do it all alone. Bring your attention back to your heart. Think about the people who have helped you become who you are today. A teacher, a friend, a mentor, a partner, a family member, a colleague, someone who believed in you when you couldn't yet believe in yourself. Feel gratitude for them. Collaboration teaches us, I don't have to know everything when I am willing to learn. I don't have to carry everything when I am willing to receive support. I don't have to create everything alone when someone else may carry the piece that I am missing. Imagine what becomes possible when your idea meets someone else's wisdom, when your strength meets someone else's strength, when your dream meets the right people. The Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 4:9, 2 are better than one, And Proverbs 27:17 teaches us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. We become stronger when we strengthen one another. We become wiser when we learn from one another. And we can go further when we stop seeing collaboration as competition. Imagine what could happen if we stopped asking who gets the credit and started asking, what can we create together? Imagine families collaborating instead of competing, relationships listening instead of blaming, teams creating instead of criticizing, communities connecting instead of dividing, leaders empowering instead of controlling. Now picture the future version of yourself. See yourself walking into a room without needing to know everything. You are confident enough to listen, strong enough to ask for help, secure enough to celebrate someone else's gifts, and wise enough to recognize that another person's success does not diminish yours. See yourself saying, I value your ideas. Teach me what you know. How can we make this better together? How can I support you? Feel the energy of connection. Feel gratitude. Feel possibility. Feel what happens when people stop protecting their individual pieces and begin building the bigger picture. Now silently repeat, I connect, I collaborate, I contribute, I receive, I create, I grow. Together we multiply possibilities. Here at the 6TP Stillness and Wellness Club, we believe transformation doesn't have to happen alone. We create spaces where people can think together, dream together, learn together, support one another, and turn ideas into action. Because sometimes the person sitting beside you carries knowledge you don't have. Sometimes you carry the encouragement someone else needs. And sometimes one conversation, one introduction, one connection, or one collaboration can completely change the direction of a dream. Take one final deep breath and ask yourself, what dream are you still trying to accomplish alone? What if the breakthrough you're waiting for isn't another idea, but another person? Someone may have the knowledge you need. Someone may have the connection you need. Someone may have the missing piece to your dream. But don't forget this. You may be the missing piece to someone else's dream. So today, don't just ask, what can I accomplish? Ask, what can we create together? Because your next level may not require you to work harder. It may require you to stop working alone. At the 6TP Stillness and Wellness Club, we connect, collaborate, create, and grow together. So here's your challenge. Think of one person, reach out, start the conversation. Because one conversation can create a connection. One connection can create a collaboration. And one collaboration can change everything. Now open your eyes and ask yourself, if you knew your biggest dream couldn't be built alone, who would you call today?
Yes, think about who can I help. Collaboration is when we bring what you have together with what I have together and we create the big picture. Let me see how I get out of here. Okay, so now think about it. What will change if you started every day in stillness? When you think about collaboration, what you can bring, what I can bring, and we do it together. Here at the 6TP Stillness and Wellness Club, we don't only create, we collaborate with you so we can bring your dream together into one. So tell us about it, Victor. What will change if you started every day in stillness? What will change?
Well, for me, it has already changed because we've been doing this for the better part now of almost 300, and I mean more than 600 days actually. Um, what changes for me is that it's hard in my busy schedule to find time for myself. I'm always on the go. When I'm not when I'm not working, hustling, trying to make the bacon, I'm helping somebody do something. I'm with my family. I'm parenting, um, and it just always feels like there's an agenda and a thing to do next. But when I take this time with you and with our dear friends and with the Golden Boy, um, I just find that I take that space, I claim it for myself, and it gives me that rejuvenation that I need.
Thank you so much for that, Victor. For me, this stillness path is good because I release during the day so many things that happens, so many phone calls, so many disrespectful people, so many things then that you have to do, that you have to manage. So when I take this stillness, I release all of that. And every day is a new beginning for me. I can't begin the way I ended the day before because sometimes it's not too good. So I release all of those negative thoughts and I began a new way today. Now, let us continue to our second path. This is the scaling dreamers. A scaling dreamer doesn't just dream about a different future, they begin becoming the person who can create it. A scaling dreamer is a person who has a dream and thinks of ways, of paths, of methods, of systems to bring that dream into reality by setting goals and setting a complete transformation there. But we have a little problem, Victor. I noticed that when children are small or younger, they are ready to dream, to create. They're more spontaneous. But as they get older, things them change. And let's take a look and to see what it is make it change. What make it change? What do you think that make it change, Victor?
Well, I think it's about the fact that as you get older, you seem to acquire more knowledge, and knowledge that is not properly curated is dangerous. Knowledge that does isn't rooted with good instructions for how to use it is something that is not as powerful as if you have knowledge that is tamed and that you understand its purpose and what you're trying to achieve with it. And I think that this all starts with good parenting, right? Teach your kids to be hungry to learn and to be one of the things that I love about schools is that many schools have embedded in their mission to be a continuous learner, meaning that you're always seeking to learn more, you're always open to new ideas, new thoughts. And I think that our children are immature, that's why they're called children, and they will think that they learn one thing and that they think that they have the whole world grabbed by one finger and they got it. And they learn very quickly that they don't understand, and that's why they have to come running back to mom and dad.
Thank you so much for that, Victor. Because I have noticed it too that the kids, then when they were in preschool or in kindergarten, they're very creative. They have many dreams, but as they get older, those things them change. Let's listen to this a few minutes to see what other insights we could get.
How did we move from watch me to I can't? What happened? What happened to the child who used to dream and create? Ask a 5 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they'll tell you a teacher, a firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, a singer, an artist. And the beautiful thing is, they believe it. Give children a microphone, and suddenly they are Michael Jackson, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, or Bruno Mars. They sing, they dance, they perform. They don't stop and ask, am I good enough? What if people laugh at me? What if I fail? They simply say, watch me. They see someone who inspires them and think, maybe I can do that too. They dream, they create, they try. So, what happens? How does the child who once shouted, watch me, becomes a teenager or adult who says, I don't know, I can't, I am afraid? What changes? As children grow older, other voices enter: comparison, criticism, rejection, failure, peer pressure, social media. And sometimes they hear, that's too difficult. You probably cannot do that. What will people think? What if you fail? Here is what we need to remember: the voices children hear repeatedly can eventually become the voices they use to speak to themselves. I want to becomes I don't know, I am not good enough, I can't. And sometimes the dreamer didn't stop disappearing. They believe it did. If that speaks to you, type or shout dream again. This is where the 60P comes in. At the 60P Stillness and Wellness Club, we believe growing older should give us more wisdom to build our dreams, not more reasons to abandon them. Through the scaling dreamers and creative path, we help people becomes, we help people reconnect, we help people create in their ability to dream, imagine, create, believe, plan, and act. We ask, what do you really want? What do you stop believing was possible? What will you create if you weren't afraid of getting it wrong? Then we help them move the dream to a vision, to a plan, to small steps, to actions. Because dreams are powerful, but dreams need movement. Dream need influencers and superwho's. Children also need to see what's possible. Their dream influencers may be a teacher, maybe a firefighter, maybe a nurse, maybe a coach, maybe a family member, artist, athlete, or performer. They see someone and think, I see you. Maybe I can do that too. And sometimes a dream needs a super who. A super who is someone with the knowledge, experience, and skills, connection, or encouragement to help a child move closer to their dream. They can help children see possibilities, explore creativity, build confidence, learn skills, and turn ideas into action. You don't have to know everything about your child's dream. Sometimes the dream simply needs the right tools. How do we turn this around? First, remember, you may be your child's first dream influencer. Starting today, listen. Don't immediately correct their dream. Ask. When they say, I have an idea, respond, tell me more. Connect. Expose them to positive dream influencers and superwho's who expand what they believe is possible. Explore. Give them opportunities to try, to create, and discover. Encourage them. When they say, I can't, remind them, you don't know how yet. Help them take one small step at a time. Because our job isn't to choose the dream for them. Our job is to keep the dreamer alive long enough for them to discover what they are capable of becoming. Today, try this. Ask your child, what would you love to create, do, or become if you weren't afraid of getting it wrong? Then listen. Don't correct. Don't make their dream your dream. Just listen. And when they are finished, say, tell me more. Because sometimes three simple words can keep a dream alive. At the 6TP Scaling and Dreamers and Creative Path, we don't only want bigger dreams, we want stronger dreamers. We don't only want more ideas, we want braver creators. We don't need children who never fail. We need children who want to allow failure to write the ending of their story. So I leave you with one question. Whose dreams are you helping to keep alive? If you're really ready to ignite the next generation of dreamers and creators, shout, dream again, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes keeping a dream alive begins with three simple words: tell me more. Dream it, create it, and scale it and become it. And know that we have reignited the dream. What is your next step?
So that's what happens, Victor. That's what happened with our children. They speak the words them that the hearer says. No, you can't do that. That's too difficult. That's not for you. Those are the words them that they internalize. And the words that I will call the dream killers. They stifle their creativity. So from today, you are going to begin speaking differently to your child, instilling the idea of possibility so that we can continue your job here at the 60P Stillness and Wellness Club, where we inspire everyone to be creative and to meet their dreams. What are you waiting to have before you start creating with what you already have? We can create things with what we already have. If you know to cook, you could probably create a restaurant. If you know to dance, you could probably make a dance school. Start creating. Start scaling your dreams.
I think
Start
that
with what you have. Yes, Victor.
I think that you know, some of what you're describing reminds me what I call the garden concept, right? You know, we all know the story of Adam and Eve, right? As soon as they ate from the tree of knowledge, they had knowledge, and the knowledge didn't serve them well because they learned things that they shouldn't know. And I think the same thing is true with children, right? One of the quickest things that they learn is fear, right? And fear is the number one killer of dreams because when you have fear, you also learn about failure, and failure is something that goes hand in hand with fear, and no one wants to fail. And like you said, no one wants to be made fun of. No one wants to be known as that person who wasn't successful. And that holds people back. And I think that when you have the innocence of a child that doesn't learn fear or failure, I think that you believe that everything is possible.
Yes, I agree with that, Victor. So remember, you don't need everything to start creating something. Start with an idea. Use what you have and create. You have many skills and you have many things in that you know to do. Teach it to someone. Sell it to someone. Create a business. We all are creators. So now we're going to move to our next path, and that is the sport passions path. And the hardest part of exercise isn't the workout, it's overcoming everything that tells you not to start. I'm so tired. I don't have no time. I don't have any clothing. I didn't join the gym. Stop. Stop. The important thing is to
Research.
begin. Oh, when you have your muscles that you don't use them, they become stagnated. And that happened to me actually. I'm going to share these examples that happened to me once already. Oh, I was hospitalized for a few days and I didn't walk. I was just basically laying down. And when I get ready to walk, guess what? My muscles were not sharing the same idea that I have, and I could not walk. So, what we want to encourage you today is to move. The simple idea is to move. And we're going to introduce or reintroduce the Galloway method that was created by Jeff Galloway. And what does methods tell us? The simple idea: you run, you walk, you run. You can run for 1 minute, different speeds. You walk for 30 seconds for 1 minute, and then you begin again running. You don't have to run 10 miles to do an exercise. There are many ways. Every one exercise level is different. You just have a baby, so what? You put the baby in the carriage and you push it, you're walking. And you can walk at different speed. As you know, we exercise every day. We have to move our muscles. If you have a cane, you still can walk. Your speed may be different, but you still can walk. Walk, walk, walk. Move your body. Take the elevator? No, I could walk up the stairs if I could. If I'm going to the store, instead of taking the car, I'm going to walk. The whole idea is to walk, walk, walk. Exercise your body in any way that you can. Because when you don't use your muscles, they become stagnated as everything that we don't use. Do you have any other way that you exercise, Victor?
Yeah, I look at Laurence and I run from the cold plunge. I run as fast as I can away from that. Um, yeah, no, I do the Galloway method. I'm a big believer in that, and I also play a lot of sports. I love the fact that my town has an old man's club. We go on. I call it that. Every Saturday, from like 7 to 9 a.m. I go down there and I play basketball, and it's just people like me who just want to sweat and who want to have a competitive edge, and that has grown. They do it on Tuesdays, they do it on Fridays, and now even Thursday nights, and it's just a way to go down and make sure that you're active, that you're not stagnant, the way you said. And I also am an avid baseball player. I still play. I still hit the ball pretty well. And I have to make sure that I do keep my joints loose and that I walk and run so that I can be able to continue to do that, because I can't just do nothing and then show up one day to play basketball and to play baseball. So, I do walk. I do, every now and then I go on the bike that I have, but it's just the biggest thing that I do is I make sure. I like the fact that where I work at, there's a store and it's at least like half a mile from the office, so I have to like walk all the way there if I want to get things. And one, it works two ways for me, right? One, because it's a good deterrent from going to buy junk. And the other thing is that when I really need the junk, I got to go work for it.
Okay, Victor. So you have a double jeopardy there, double resources, double healthy things that you walk and you don't have to buy the junk stuff that you used to buy. That's good. So
What about
remember,
you, Golden Boy?
I try and also just do more steps as well. Just increase, whatever your regular activity is. If you can just bump that up a couple thousand steps a day, that makes a big difference. Um, from recent studies I've read, you don't need to get all the way to 10,000 steps a day. If you can get, 6 or 7,000, that's pretty good. again, you don't need to get 10,000. Um, that was also like an arbitrary number that was made up a long time ago to promote the sale of pedometers. So if you can just, uh, if you were not walking at all, or not, or just completely being sedentary, if you can increase that, that's great. You can also do cold plunging and cold showers to increase your resiliency. Again, Victor's not a big fan, but we're going to get him there eventually. So,
You have two people, Laurence, that are not fan of that.
yeah,
Cold water is not one of my friends then. But
But
again,
we're
I could
fans of
try
you,
one
Laura.
day.
you'll get there. You'll get there.
I could do as Martha says, put one arm in first, then the other one, then a foot, take it out,
Yeah.
put each body parts.
No, that works. Wim Hof has that in his app that he has that you can get on the App Store. So you don't have to do the whole body. You can just do uh, one thing at a time.
Did
Right.
you see that? That was like a deja vu moment, right? We were making fun of the, one body limb at a time, right? And once again, he went right to the David Wim
Yeah,
Hof. He's
exactly.
armed. He's ready to shoot that down.
You got it.
Right. So
Not
remember,
playing.
mhm, you don't have to run the whole way. Just run, walk, rest, and you begin again. But the important thing is to use your muscles. And because we are starting the day, very hectic day, we could incorporate those muscle movements during the day as well as before we leave our homes. The simple exercise, the simple stretching activities, maybe walk around the block to get your coffee, go to the corner store. The important thing is for you to move, move, move. I'm not sure about the cold plunger early in the morning, but if you are into it, you could do it right in your shower. Move your body. The important thing is to move because and if you don't use it, you are going to lose it.
Well, also, if you cold plunge, that's a way to get your body moving.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now we're going to move to the next path, and it's the authorship path. So, the authorship path is when we write down our ideas. I remember in the office when I was working years ago, they will say, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So if someone tells you something or you want somebody to say something or to do something, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So begin sharing your wisdom, sharing your ideas. Make your shopping list. Make a list of food that are good for certain conditions. If you have diabetes, you could begin creating a list of diabetic food. If you had high blood pressure, you could begin creating a list of food for high blood pressure. The important thing is to write a word, write a phrase, write a sentence, and eventually, when you look, you have a book. You have a book to share your wisdom. You have a book to share your ideas, your creations, and most importantly, you are creating your legacy. This is what they're going to remember of you when you are not here to tell the story. What you leave in writing is going to tell the story for you. So you have the beginning chapter, and the ending chapter is going to be what others are going to be able to read about. So begin writing. Begin writing a word, a sentence, a phrase, a page. Eventually, you have a chapter and you have a book. If you have a story, then you have a book. Laurence, do you have any words that you are writing that eventually can become a book? We lost the golden boy,
Yep,
Victor.
I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm working on my how to use AI for your IT department. So that's the book that I'm working on. So
Good.
It's
Good, very good. Thank
Yep.
you so much for that, golden boy.
You're
And
welcome.
Victor, I know that you have many many stories, but the one that I can't wait to read is the Sir Perseverance. Tell us two sentences about that book, Victor. Victor, not
Yeah,
three sentences, not four sentences, two sentences about that book.
you got it, sister. So basically, it's a book about how to make people be better mentally, spiritually, and physically. And my aim is through my life story and through sound experiences with God to help people be better themselves. Not because I'm so great, but because I think my experiences could help others.
Thank you,
How
Victor.
did I do there?
Beautiful. It was more than two sentences, but it was good. It was good because it's important that people know how perseverance can take them far places, far distance, many good miles.
All right, I'm gonna
So,
go back to the Laurence School of learning how to be brief and quick. Laurence, book me for a session.
Okay.
but to the point, to the point. And now we're going to go to our last path, the last path that we have in where we read. We read and we read, but we read different kind of books. If you were to leave it up to me, I'm going to read the gossip column in the newspapers. I'm going to read my novellas, my favorite novellas. I'm going to read maybe sometimes some biographies, maybe sometimes, not all the times, because I like to read fun things. Here at the 60p, we read different type of books, different types of books that's going to move us to a different level. And here we have the science of scaling. The science of scaling was written basically for business people, for leadership. But you know one important thing about the science of scaling? We could apply it to any areas of life. And when we can apply what we read to many areas of life, then that's where transformation begins. That's where the learning begins. And we have one concept here today, the super who's. So, who are the super who's? The super who's are people that can help us move to the different level. So, when we want to create something, we don't have all the parts together, but we can associate ourselves with people that may have those parts that we need. We can collaborate with them and make it into one. So we need to associate ourselves with super who's, people that can help us move to the next steps. And we can apply this to parenting skills, to friendship, to many areas. So we think about parenting skills and we want our children to scale, we want to associate them with the super who's. Who are the super who's? Who are the people that can help them move to the next level? That is going to teach them things that they don't know. And we have the teachers, the coaches, the grandparents, their mentors, the positive friends. We have the counselors. We have many super who's, and we want our kids them to be associated, to spend more times with the super who's, because these are the people that are going to teach them the next steps that they're going to move to be who they want to be. We can also apply it to friendship. So, who are our super who's in the friendship? A friend who tell us the truth, a friend who give us a good idea, a friend who encourages us to move forward, a friend who celebrate our successes. Those are our super who's, a person that is going to move us to the next path, to the next step, to the next level. And where did we learn this? In the Science of Scaling, which is a leadership book, but the concepts that are explained there can be applied to any areas of life. So from now on, you are begin to think about your super ooze, the people that can help you scale, the people that can help your dream become reality. And at the 60p Stillness and Wellness Club, we want to be, we are your super who's. We are prepared to take you to the next level. so that we could have a total transformation. Laurence, do you have any super who's?
Wow. Gone. Um, I have people that I admire. So I have to find the super who's for myself. Like I always mention Wim Hof and those sorts of folks. I need to find some more direct people who can help me, um, because he's an author. I've written, or I've read uh, two books about him, and I went to an event that he did. But I got to find some people that are a little more local rather than where he lives. So that's what I'm going to work on, finding some super who's.
Thank you, Laurence. And remember, this is a two-way street. You are finding your super who's, but you can be also someone's super who's. You may have skills then that another person want to learn. And how we do that? Collaboration. That's the magic word. Collaboration. Working together, we can scale. Working together, we can make our dreams become reality. So remember, associate yourself with people that can move you to the next level. Those people, we're going to call them our super who's, and they could be right around the corner waiting for you to extend their hands to them. And with that, we're going to say a message of gratitude from our CEO. And that message is going to be given by Victor Catano, Sir Perseverance.
Well, as always, Dr. Pina is off doing really big things. He's preparing to go to Europe and to bring his Metapoesia messages and to carry the 6TP with him everywhere that he goes. And he sends his love, he sends his blessings, and he asks you to continue to grow with us. Dr. Pina, we thank you so much for your innovation. We thank you so much for giving us a space to be better. And we thank you, Dr. Pina, for just believing in us and now turning this show over to us for us to continue to grow and help others grow too. So all the gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you. He's not in here in presence, but his spirits and his teachings and his thought will remain with us forever. Thank you so much. And remember, keep your children dream alive. Keep your children dream alive by the things that you say, because that's the way they're going to speak the day of tomorrow. I can't do this. I will do this. I am. I'm capable of it. Thank you so much. And until the next time, dream, believe, become with Rosie Rosaura.
Well, folks, that's a show. We thank you for tuning in today. And this is a good time to tell you have a beautiful and blessed day.
Adios.